there it is, folks. There it is. Oh my gosh. Right, okay, lots to talk about. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, it's time for another reaction from me. And today I am reacting to a band that lots of you have asked me to react to. Yes, it's time for some Jethro Tull. Now, big disclaimer before we start. I am a pretty big fan of this band already, as my followers will know. Indeed, I'm also wearing the t-shirt today, and today, the date I'm recording this reaction, is the 10th of August, which is Mr. Ian Anderson's birthday. So, big happy birthday to you, Mr. Anderson, if you ever see this. Now, before I get to the facts on the track that I'm reacting to, just let me tell you that I do have a few Jethro Tull covers on my channel, and I also have a video blog of my time seeing Jethro Tull for the very first time, which was back in February in Rome. So you are, of course, welcome to check those out. But let's get to the Flutifull facts on this track. So the track I'm reacting to is A New Day Yesterday. This is from the album Stand Up, which was Jethro Tull's second album, released in 1969. It was the first Jethro Tull album to feature guitarist Martin Barre, who would go on to become a long-standing guitarist with the band. The album quickly went to #1 in the UK, and it also was the first success for the band in the US, reaching #20 on the Billboard 200. So, here we have a fabulous live version from 1970. I've never seen this before, so I'm in for a treat, I think. Here we go.
Ducky, ducky, louder, louder. Oh, do stop being silly, you know. Let me get on with my ego trip. Right, here we go, New Day Yesterday, 1, 2, 3, more, Mark 4, Martin 4, right. Right, 1, 2, 3. Had my good time with you, and we had some fun. Well, walking through the trees, yeah, and I kissed you once. I had to leave today, just when I thought I found you. Was a new day yesterday, but it's an old day now. Spent a long time looking for a game to play, and my luck should be so bad now to turn out this way. I wanna see you so, but I don't know how. Was a new day yesterday, but it's an old day now.
Okay, I think I'm just going to stop it there before the flute comes in. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. It's just wonderful, isn't it? And isn't it wonderful that we've got this footage as well, especially for somebody like me who wasn't there in 1970, but seeing this footage of this stuff performed like this, oh, it makes me wish that I was. And it just, the raw energy. I mean, yeah, there's feedback. Yeah, the sound isn't that great. Who cares? Because the energy is just undeniable. I loved his little camaraderie at the beginning. I mean, that is just Ian Anderson, isn't it? And I know he was having a bit of a joke, but actually probably he probably was a little bit pissed off. Like, can I just get on with this, please? I love I just love everything about how he moves. It's very, very natural. We didn't quite get standing on one leg during that fabulous harmonica stuff, but you could see his leg moving, and he does say himself that the standing on one leg came about just naturally. It was just something that he did. It wasn't something that he planned to do. And when you watch something like this and you see that kind of movement, you can, that's totally believable, isn't it? I just love the energy of it. It almost felt like he could have just carried on playing that little riff in the middle there forever and ever and ever, because I kind of know that feeling. You know, when you play a few notes and it just kind of grabs you and you feel like you can just keep playing them, the energy and the togetherness of that. And yeah, I mean, just so exciting. So, but I haven't even got to the flute yet. So here we go. Oh, well, there it is, folks. There it is. Oh my gosh. Right, okay, lots to talk about. And obviously this is really interesting because this is very, very, very early Tull and early Ian playing the flute, and you can tell that, but it's got that raw energy, hasn't it? So first of all, let's talk about the fingers, and then let's talk about the sound and the singing and the playing. So you can see the very flat fingers, which you often saw with Ian very early on. So his right hand is really across the keys. And, you know, it works for him. It maybe allows him to get a little bit more of a percussive sound by slapping those keys a little bit. He has since, you know, adopted more of a traditional kind of stance. But anyway, there it is. Now, the playing itself, it's all, it's singing and playing. That's what gives it that raspy sound. And he's kind of singing and playing and then going up and doing some trilly stuff. Now, he is singing and playing all the way through that. What's interesting for me is there's a lot of voice going on there. He doesn't use so much voice now. And that's probably because he doesn't want to use as much voice. Or he can't use as much voice, but that's really interesting because there's a lot of voice. And I know that because I'm very guilty of that. When I do singing and playing, I use a lot of voice because I trained as a singer. That's not necessarily a good thing. It's kind of overpowering the flute a little bit. But it's a very strong sound. And because there's so much voice going on there, I can really hear that his voice was completely matching all the notes that he played. We only lost that when he went too high and he couldn't get his voice that high. Now, what's interesting about that to me is that it means that he absolutely knows the sound of what he's playing, i.e., he knows in his head what the notes are going to sound like as he plays them. Now, don't forget, he is improvising. He's playing whatever he wants to play. And it's not surprising to me that he can absolutely hear what he's going to play, but that's absolute proof of it, because his singing is exactly in pitch with his playing. As I say, the singing is very, very strong, which there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that it's a really strong sound, and it's interesting because when it cuts out and it goes higher, you get a completely different sound. Then we get those little trills. I love the way he's playing around with the big swoopy things. That's really cool. He's playing around with some tonguing, some really percussive stuff, and it's just very exciting because, as I said, at this point, this is only a couple of years into Tull's existence, and he's not been playing the flute very long at all. And just the way he's moving around it so naturally and playing around and seeing what he can do and being so musical with it at the same time is just very exciting, isn't it? It's very exciting and, yeah, cool to watch. So let's keep going.
Had a long time looking for a game to play. My luck should be so bad now and turn out this way. I had to leave today just when I thought I found you. I didn't know yesterday. Why didn't you day yesterday? Why didn't you day yesterday? But it's an old day now. Wow! Thank you.
I just had to see what he did at the end there. So there we go. That was Jethro Tull, A New Day Yesterday from 1970. Just awesome. And of course, not just the flute playing, the singing and the harmonica playing as well, which is just exquisite, isn't it? So there we go. That was my first Tull reaction. Hope you enjoyed it, folks. If you did, then as I say, you're welcome to check out my other Tull content and come and join us on a Sunday. So on a Sunday, I do a live stream show where you can come and request music from me, and I do cover a lot of Tull, and at the end of my live stream, we normally have a little bit of bourrée. So if you fancy coming and seeing that live, you are more than welcome. Check out the details on my channel. Of course, it would be great if you'd subscribed, give me a thumbs up, and get notified of when my new content comes out. And hopefully I'll see you very soon. So take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.